Hello, my name is Carney. So, it's been a while. I'm so sorry I haven't posted in so long. I've been dealing with some things in my personal life, which is why I've been on a bit of a hiatus recently, but I'm back now, and hopefully for good. Granted, however, there might still be a bit of a gap in between my videos, but I'll try my best to keep it a short one. This channel and the community all means so much to me, and I thank you all so much for your patience. I've also got a new editing app, which I'm still learning how to use, so I apologise if the quality isn't like it usually is. Anyway, I'm sorry about that, I just thought I'd fill you all in on why I've been so inactive recently. So, with that out of the way, it's time to talk about Echosa Brea. Echosa Brea is a prehistoric animal survival game set back around 20,000 years ago at the Brean tar pits in California. This game is on Roblox for 80 Robux and is currently in its early access stages. Eventually, this game will become free to play, but the date is unknown. So many things have happened while I was away, including a new AI animal, a ton of gorgeous new skins, a new map, and a lot more, which I would love to get into, but I'd like to keep this video dedicated to the best announcement to come so far, the Columbian Mammoth. Scientific name Mammothus columbi. People have been speculating, ever since the logo for the game was revealed, that there would be some kind of member from the elephant family featured within the game. And as it happens, 2 months ago on a panel recording at the Brea Tar Pits Museum, it was officially announced as a future playable. I'll be going over everything we know so far about the mammoth, as well as possibilities for it in the future. Gathering information from the Echosa Brea website tells us that it's going to be the biggest playable, with the height at its shoulder being 420 to 380 centimeters, and mass being 9,500 to 8,550 kilograms. The weight of the mammoth does make me think that it won't be able to jump in-game, as it wouldn't have been able to in real life, but whether or not the game will include that as a feature is unknown to me. Their herds consisted of around 12 members, with the herds in game also very likely to be in that range, as all of the other group sizes on the website are true to the max group sizes in the game. The behaviour section tells us the following. Similar to living day elephants, Columbian mammoths formed fission-fusion societies comprised of matriarchal families, bachelor associations, and solitary bulls. 43,000-year-old trackways from Fossil Lake, Oregon infer that these mammoths lived in multi-generational herds that cared for one another in times of injury, sickness, or famine. End quote. The mammoth will likely have a very laid-back playstyle, rarely having to defend itself against those brave enough, willing to risk their life, taking them on. Their diet will consist of a mix of grasses, plants, sedges, and cacti, and will even be able to browse on trees, something no other current playable can do. Mammoths, like the other herbivores currently in the game, have their own migratory path. Their migratory locations are expected to stay within the prairie, parkland, and steppe. On the website we also get to see a possible vocalization that the mammoth will have. Its gentle tone makes me suspect this might be a friendly vocalization, used to strengthen bonds within herds. Their calls will be heavily based on Asian elephants, which is really cool to hear. In a recent promotional image of the Columbian mammoth, we get to see their physical dimorphism, with the male being on the right and female on the left. The male bull boasts large tusks and, like modern-day elephants, are suspected to have fought for the right to a female during mating season. In fact, a discovery made in Nebraska of 1962 found a pair of testosterone-crazed bull mammoth skeletal remains with interlocked tusks, making this theory more plausible. A jousting mechanic for the Columbian mammoth, as already seen with the bison and, in the future, horse, would be an awesome addition to the game. Seeing two massive mammoths bashing tusks would be really cool to see. With the physical dimorphism also comes a lot of questions regarding difference in stats between male and female. Like the bison, I expect we'll see a similar stat difference, with the males being slower, having less stamina but dealing more damage. Another sneak peek we'll get to see is, well, mammoth feces. Comparing the texture of grass in this screenshot to the one in game, this bison feces is going to be huge, with those that have feces turned on in their settings probably having an easier time tracking the mammoth. The mammoth will have many variations of attacking, with the majority, I assume, sending the average direwolf into orbit. A charge would be a really interesting attack for the Mammoth, as you can already do with the Bison, but would likely be very costly in terms of stamina. Some kind of slap using the trunk would also be pretty cool for a long-ranged attack. A big question many people have in regards to the Colombian Mammoth is how do they get it? Well, despite what your initial thoughts might have told you, the Mammoth will not cost any money, neither in the real world or with the in-game currency. Instead, the Mammoth will be obtainable via completing a task, as seen with the Bison and Smilodon, also known as the saber-toothed cat. Now, we don't yet know what the mission will be, but something tells me it's related to the migration mechanic. As previously mentioned, the Mammoth will, like all of the other herbivores, feature a migration mechanic, so a good way to boost the amount of herbivore players earn tracks in the meantime, and a good mission in line with the Mammoth's playstyle would probably be to have spent a certain amount of time in a migrational location as one of the playable herbivores. Now, another big question that gets asked a lot is how strong is the Mammoth exactly? We already know that the Colombian Mammoth is going to be incredibly strong, with a head-on collision with one likely being a one-shot depending on what animal you are. But how does that coincide with its stamina, speed, and health? As stated by a developer, applying bleed to a mammoth is entirely possible, with tests showing that 7 minutes of straight nipping at the mammoth using the direwolf, I assume using the primary bite, which applies no bleed, almost got the mammoth to half health, truly showing how tanky it really is. Granted, however, against a single direwolf. With that information, I'm going to make a guess and live under the assumption, at least until it actually gets released, that the amount of experienced direwolves needed to consistently take down a female mammoth is around 17 at very least, and over a long course of time. There's also been quite a lot of fear regarding the mammoth's strength, with people worrying that the mammoth will be used almost exclusively for the act of cozing. Cozing meaning killing on sight. This has been debunked by the developers, with them stating that while the mammoth is strong, it is simply too slow to be an effective cozer. Possibly the most frequently asked question is, when will the mammoth be releasing? And while there isn't a set date, I expect it will be within the next 2 to 4 months. The mammoth will likely have its very own announcement as to when it'll be releasing. I mean, after all, this is the most anticipated playable. And now I've gone over all of the confirmed facts, so let's take a look at some of my theories that have not already been mentioned. Firstly, what skins might the Colombian mammoth have? After some research, I put together some possible variations. We have a brownish skin as seen in the promotional images, with possibilities to expand upon that, adding darker or even lighter tones. Evidence also suggests there could have been ginger or strawberry blonde looking mammoths, possibly caused by erythrism, or perhaps it's just a natural colour variation that was commonly seen. Mutations that are in the realm of being realistic for the Colombian mammoth, though, like every mutation, is still rare, could have been leucism, melanism, erythrism, as already mentioned, and even piebaldism. Mammoths also had very unique tusks per individual, so adding a skin, maybe even a few, with unique tusks would be a really nice addition, as already seen with the veteran skin for the bison. Another feature for the mammoth that I think would be really interesting is trampling. In WolfQuest, when you get overwhelmed by a herd of elk, they may run into you, causing damage on your end. Seeing this with the mammoth would be pretty cool, especially considering how large it is. The Smilodon has been unique with the fact that it plays a minigame, with varying difficulty depending on how many other saber-tooths are latched on at the same time. The mammoth, being as strong as it is, would need an exceptionally good ambush, but even if you do get one, there's still the challenge of beating the mammoth at the minigame. So far, the cat goes for the neck as its final blow. With the mammoth being so big, however, it might take a little extra effort climbing your way up. I thought it would be a cool idea to incorporate climbing as a separate minigame, or perhaps even a part of the takedown animation. And with that being said, we've reached the end of the video. The mammoth design looks incredible and I'm super excited for its release. Again, I want to stress my appreciation over the last 7 months for everyone's patience during my hiatus. I am so thankful. Please feel free to let me know your thoughts on the video and maybe even anything I missed in the comment section below. I really enjoy hearing what other people have to say. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay safe.